Oh ho ho, yes sir, we back. Ladies and gentlemen, back with another reaction video. Today we finna react a Fairly Odd Parents Halloween special. Most definitely. We did the what specials have we done so far? We've done the I did the Timmy Jimmy Power Hour like a year and some change ago. So I been did the Timmy Jimmy Power Hour for those of y'all that's gonna be asking. When you gonna do the Timmy Jimmy Power? I already did it. I did it like a year ago. Then we did the Astro Catastrophe, and then we did Channel Chasers. Now we finna do the Halloween special. So yeah. Without further ado though, let's get right into it.
Halloween is just around the corner, and when I think about different Halloween specials I like to watch every year, there's one that was deeply recessed in my subconscious until now. The Fairly Odd Parents Scary Godparents Halloween special. Premiering a staggering 22 years ago, I decided it was time for a rewatch to see if Scary Godparents can be considered one of the Halloween special greats. The episode starts with a giant pumpkin jack-o'-lantern planet burning to a crisp. Pumpkinator is preparing to destroy the entire planet when an old lady asks him for some candy. It's revealed to be Crash Nebula in disguise, and as soon as the Pumpkinator figures it out, he speeds up the timer and destroys the entire planet. Kind of dark, and also why was he destroying the pumpkin planet if he himself is Pumpkinator? Is that not his home planet? The planet is a giant jack-o'-lantern and he is also a giant jack-o'-lantern. Why would he want to destroy this planet? Pan out to Timmy watching the show on his TV and telling his fairies that that's what he wants to be for Halloween. A Jackobot. Wanda is upset by this because she doesn't understand how Timmy could want to be a bad guy, and Timmy just says that the villains get the coolest costume and he needs to get a ton of candy tonight. Timmy's parents bust in to reveal that Timmy's dad is going dressed as his mom and vice versa, and Timmy simply says that he needs therapy now. I don't know, Timmy, you gotta get with the times. I don't know. Timmy's parents end up leaving, and Timmy then wishes for the Jackobot costume for him and all his friends. Cosmo and Wanda try to grant the wish, but they can't do the job. It turns out only 4 of the costumes exist, and they were won in a contest. Alright, let's just talk about this for a second. No company on planet Earth would ever produce only 4 Halloween costumes of their signature villain. TV shows are viewed worldwide, and kids would be clamoring to buy those costumes, and companies love making money. And even if there was only 4 of them ever produced, which there wouldn't have been, why could his fairies not just poof up a cooler version of the costume with functioning flight boots or something like that? That wouldn't directly be copying the contest models, so it wouldn't be breaking any rules, right? I don't know, there was ways around this. The rich kids from the town trick-or-treat at Timmy's house, and it's revealed that they have all 4 of the Jackobot costumes. Timmy confronts them, asking them how they actually won the contest, and they simply say that they just bribed the judges. Timmy's parents give the kids Timmy's video games and money they were saving for his birthday presents.
That's fucked up.
Damn, I get they were trying to make a point that Timmy's costume is lame and their costumes are cool, but why'd you have to give away all of Timmy's special things? Even more evidence that Timmy's parents are some of the worst in cartoon history. Chester and AJ show up, and Timmy's parents only give them advice because they don't like their costumes. And honestly, I wouldn't turn down some free advice. Timmy ends up backing up his parents and calls Chester and AJ's outfits lame as hell and says they won't get any candy dressed like that. Chester and AJ are both in standard Halloween costumes. A vampire and Frankenstein are very standard costumes. I would see them on the street and never think twice about them. Timmy is actually insane and kind of acting like his parents right now. Vicky then shows up and reveals she's going to chaperone the boys while they trick-or-treat. Vicky then wraps Timmy in toilet paper and his costume is now a mummy. Vicky also demands a 70-30 split of all candy received. And let me tell you why that's fair, at least in Timmy's case. Timmy didn't actually have a backup plan for his costume. When his fairies couldn't poof up the costume he wanted, he did not have another costume ready to go. So Vicky was actually doing Timmy a huge favor by giving him this mummy costume, and that's probably one of the only times ever that Vicky actually does something nice for Timmy, and it was by accident. Also, I can't believe Timmy had the nerve to insult Chester and AJ's costume when he didn't even have a costume himself. Everyone is out on the town trick-or-treating, and Cosmo and Wanda end up following Timmy out in public. They explain that everyone's in a costume during Halloween, so no one can tell that they're actually fairies during Halloween. Except they're still levitating. I don't really know how a regular costume would pull that off, but okay. Vicky gets pissed that no one's gotten any candy yet, and we cut to Mark the alien's parents spying on Timmy Turner from space. They're pissed they weren't invited to the gathering down on Earth. How would they have gotten the invite? Back on Earth, the gang is at Principal Wax-A-Plenty's house, and she gives them all reflector tape. They still haven't successfully gotten any candy yet at all. They're now trying their luck at the evil dentist's house, and he actually gives them a ton of sugar-coated sugar. Of course he does. He wants them all to damage their teeth, get cavities, so they all have to go to him for service. It makes perfect sense, guys. Back in space, the aliens jump to the conclusion that everyone's planning a conspiracy to start a war against the aliens because they notice the crowd is gathering candy, and candy is their biggest weakness. So they decide to write a strongly worded letter and mail it back down to Earth. I don't think it ever gets received. Who would receive it? Now the gang is over at the Bucks-A-Plenty's house and watch as all the rich kids gloat about everything they got. When they go up to the door to trick-or-treat, all they get is the pit bulls released on them. They run for cover and hide in some bushes, and then the house shines a spotlight on them and the safety tape gives them all away. Alright, first off, I love that the safety tape did exactly what it shouldn't have done. It was unsafe in that moment. That's pretty damn funny. But I also love that the Bucks-A-Plenty's were fully prepared to murder anyone whose costume they didn't deem cool. They had multiple methods planned out. The Pitbulls was not the only way to dispose of unwanted guests. It's crazy. Timmy gets caught on a branch while escaping the Pitbulls, and everyone in the gang actually ditches him and leaves him to be mauled alive by these Pitbulls. They truly do just leave him for dead, and they don't even have a second thought about him. Surprisingly, Timmy gets out alive, and Vicky is collecting candy from everyone in the town. Timmy realizes that the rich kids get candy because they have real costumes, and Vicky gets candy because she's scary. So Timmy breaks out into a song where he wishes that all of their costumes become real and scary so they can get as much candy as possible. Alright, I really don't remember there being a song in this, but it's an absolute banger. I highly suggest you go listen to it right now. Absolute banger. But Fairly Odd Parents are odd for how they like to put one song in a special but not make it a full-blown musical. They did the same thing with Abracatastrophe. After Timmy's musical wish, everyone turns into the real monster version of what they were dressed as, and Timmy ends up becoming a decaying, decrepit mummy. He should have thought about that first, right? Timmy's excited as his body begins to fall apart, and we're shown the rich kids' Jackalbot costumes transforming into real massive Jackalbots from the show. Their new goal is to combine all four costumes into the Mega Pumpkinator and make it the worst Halloween ever. I cannot believe Timmy didn't wish that only the bullied kids' costumes would become real. Why in the world would he wish that every person's costume becomes real? That's insane. What if someone's wearing something absolutely crazy? Like, what? This isn't that crazy, but when I was a kid, I dressed as a Dairy Queen Blizzard and a washing machine. Would I have just turned into an edible object or a goddamn laundry appliance if I was wearing that? Kind of a weird wish to involve the entire town in unwillingly. Cosmo, Wanda, and Timmy are walking along and realize Vicky didn't transform into anything. Wanda then says she wonders if everyone else is having a fun time when they transformed, and Timmy is confused. He says everybody, then reacts in horror as he realizes the monstrous world around him. Did Timmy have an out-of-body experience during the performance of his song? Does he not remember making the wish? Is he schizophrenic? He directly wished for everything to be real and scary, and he said it multiple times. Back in space, the aliens are still spying on the Earthlings, and they're very upset. Mark shows up, and his parents explain that the Pumpkinator is a doomsday device that will destroy the entire planet. Mark is excited to see the light show go off until he realizes that Vicky is down on Earth, so he flies down to Earth with his friends to go save her. And for those who aren't in the know, Mark and Vicky had a little fling once. The aliens find Vicky, and she starts insulting their costumes instantly. Timmy's arm flies out of nowhere, and Wanda repairs his broken limb. Timmy then notices Mark and realizes that he's real and not in costume. They overhear Mark telling Vicky that the world is doomed and about to explode, and Timmy wishes everyone everything was back to normal. But Cosmo and Wanda reveal that their costumes became real as well, and they're no longer fairies and cannot grant any wishes. This is my first time thinking about it, but I wonder what happened to Mr. and Mrs. Turner. They were dressed as each other. What happened there? Timmy tells Cosmo to distract Mark, and Wanda takes Timmy's head to the costume store. Mark's trying to leave, but Cosmo stops them to inspect their vehicle. After a long nap, they just let Cosmo nap on their spaceship and wait for him to wake up. It's kind of crazy. Wanda and Timmy make it to the costume store, but the last two Jackobots find them and try to murder them on the spot. Timmy notices a clearance bin through a hole that was blown in the wall with different parts of different costumes in it. The four Jackobots finally unite to form the Pumpkinator and start a 5-minute timer until they destroy the entire planet by self-destructing. Wanda throws Timmy's head into the clearance bin and he creates an epic makeshift superhero costume out of the leftover parts. Timmy takes on the Pumpkinator with his new costume, and it's a pretty dope sequence, I can't lie. They duke it out for a little bit, trading blows back and forth until the Jackobot ends up evaporating Mark's ship. His parents think he died, and his dad just says to unfreeze one of his clones. Absolutely savage. That's crazy. Timmy keeps beefing with the Jacobot, and there's only 1 minute left until the planet is completely blown to bits. And the Pumpkinator ends up capturing Timmy and prepares to explode. Timmy begs Wanda for help, and she realizes that you become whatever costume you wear. She lures in the evil dentist's son and takes his Tooth Fairy costume. She then becomes a fairy again, and Timmy wishes for Halloween to be fake and safe. Wanda grants the wish just in time, and everyone turns back into regular people in normal, safe costumes. Meanwhile, Mark is upset about his ship and sees Timmy. He calls him a stupid human boy, and then Mark asks if they're preparing war against Yugo-Botanian aliens. And Timmy just says that yes, they are. Look, I get that Timmy was saying this to try to scare Mark away from planet Earth and the Yugo-Botanian aliens as a whole, but he is picking a fight for all of humankind that no one else gave him permission to pick. Him lying about the humans preparing to go to war against these aliens is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, now the aliens have a chance to prepare for a war that humans are neither preparing for nor know is even coming at all. The aliens end up launching a P-bomb at planet Earth before flying off, and Timmy tells the fairies that those types of aliens are stupid and get everything backwards. He also mentions that their biggest weakness is candy. The bomb turns out to be a giant piñata, and it begins raining candy all over the city. The boys cheer as they declare it the best Halloween ever. Cut to a long line at the dentist where everyone has giant holes in their teeth, and they all agree that they have no regrets and eat more candy while they wait for the dentist. Cosmo cracks every single one of his teeth on a candy cane, and the credits start to roll. So after watching Scary Godparents again after 22 years, my god, it still just stabs me.
Bruh. You ain't got to keep bringing that up, bruh. We know, bruh. The early 2000s was a long time ago, bruh. We understand now. I understand. You don't have to keep bringing it up, bruh. I'm 30.
Like a knife hearing that it came out 22 years ago. I can definitely say it has all of the makings to be a great Halloween special, and that's what I think it is. First off, there's copious amounts of trick-or-treating shown throughout the entire special. Every main cast member and even the background characters, besides Vicky, are all in costume, which only adds to the Halloween-y atmosphere. And the animated candy looks absolutely delicious, and it makes my mouth water on sight. Come on, it looks so good. Having trick-or-treating in a Halloween special is something that's almost a deal breaker for me, and some specials seem to miss out on this. The musical segment was also kind of an absolute banger, and it's not very often we get a Halloween song in specials, so I was really digging it. The actual musical number visually was really fun to just sit and watch. The visuals were perfectly Halloween-y and really got me in the mood, if you know what I'm saying. And the segment of the entire town turning into the real versions of all their costumes costumes was pretty epic. Seeing monsters of every kind running around the city was really fun, and it all culminated in an epic showdown between Timmy's makeshift costume hero and the Pumpkinator. And I really did think the final fight was pretty dope. I love the concept of Timmy making a costume out of multiple other costumes, and even wish they expanded on this further throughout the episode. And to cap it all off, the giant piñata bomb causing a massive candy shower all over the entire neighborhood felt like such a proper ending to a Halloween special. It really got me craving some good old-fashioned Halloween candy to dig into. All things considered, I think Scary Godparents should be considered one of the great Halloween specials of the past. It features everything a great Halloween special should. Trick-or-treating, scary monsters of every kind, jack-o'-lanterns, giant piles of candy, everything is here. The special felt like it perfectly captured the feeling I used to get going out with my friends to trick-or-treat as a kid. It made me kind of sad for a moment that I'll never get to relive those days again, but enough of me yapping about the inevitability of aging. What do you guys think? Is this a Halloween special you remember from back in the day, and do you think it's one of the great ones? If you stuck
I say it's better than the SpongeBob one. I'll say that much. I can't really speak for all cartoons, but I know it's better than the SpongeBob one. SpongeBob one was good, but this was way better. This was way better. And if I could revisit more Halloween episodes from cartoons of the past, I think we could match them all up and see which ones were the best. But that's just me though. But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.